This is the entranceway. Let me lead you to the entranceway and putting it all up in it. You're setting up yourself. Why would you do that? Truth be told is that around there can cause a smell. Even if, imagine here is clear and clean or trimmed down. You see, once you're in between there has hair, it's the same thing that happens.
I woke up, I thank God for all my blessings. I'm addressing all the stressing I go through, keep me progressing. Like, baby, a bigger picture, it's all a part of the lesson.
Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Sasha, for all of you guys that don't know. If you're new, of course, remember to hit that subscribe button and turn your notification bell on so you'll be notified anytime I post a video. As you can read from the title, it will be a very interesting topic. I mean, some of us stray away from talking about stuff like this. I wish I knew some of these when I was younger, to be honest. So I'm going to share my experience with you guys, also my tips. I'm not licensed anything. Well, I am licensed something, but it has nothing to do with being a doctor or anything that has to do with your physical health, nothing to that sort, okay? I'm just giving you my tips based on stuff that I've been taught or stuff that I've experienced myself and see what works and what does not work. As the title of this video says, I'm going to give you my tips to stay very desirable, look good down there, and also smell good, because it's not only about looking good but smelling good. Okay. The first one I want to get into is to actually eat clean. When I talk about eating clean, I'm probably going to lose some of you guys when they're like, oh, what do you mean by eat clean? Wash my meat? No, I'm not talking about that. Eating clean is like eating a balanced diet, or if not a balanced diet, make sure that you have a lot of greens in your diet or fruits in your diet. Okay, stay off the red meat. I mean, some of you guys probably love red meat, and that's okay, but eat it in portions, because what you eat is actually what you are, if you really think about it, like based on what comes out on your skin when you eat poorly. And it's a case where you can also be either a vegan or a pescatarian or a vegetarian. I'm a pescatarian, right? And you can still be eating unhealthy. So not because you're eating a certain diet or saying that you're a certain thing means you're eating healthy. The fried foods or the fast foods, everything you eat, just understand that it's gonna okay, think of it this way, right? Have you ever had a burger and when you go to the washroom, you legit smell the burger coming out? Has that ever happened to anybody? So yes, everything that you actually put into your body has to come out one way or the other. So my tip is to either add some more greens to your diet, or even if you have a certain type of diet already, say a pescatarian like myself, I eat a lot of seafood, I eat it in portions. So I would eat more fruits and vegetables and a little bit of seafood every now and again. Guys, let it breathe. That's my next tip, okay? When I mean let it breathe or let her breathe, depending on what you call it down there, you understand? Wear comfortable clothing. I know sometimes the tight-fitting clothing looks really nice and sexy, but at the end of the day, please don't let all your clothes be only tight clothes. Try avoiding tight clothes, or if you're wearing tight clothes, don't wear it for an entire week, because trust me, when you are suffocating her, she's going to want to rebel, and that's how yeast infection comes about, and you're just going to feel very wet and itchy down there. So be very careful about that. Wear cotton panties. And at nighttime, if you don't want to wear any underwear, like, you don't have to, or majority of the time you legit don't have to wear underwear with every single thing. I understand if it's a jeans or a shorts, but if you're wearing a skirt, right, and the skirt is long, or a dress that's long, you don't necessarily have to. Or if you are doing that, wear cotton underwear. I understand that some lingerie, like, you know, you want to be fancy and sexy for your man, yeah? Lingeries are not usually cotton. Fair enough, you want to look sexy. It's a case that you can get lingeries that has some cotton lining in the panty area, and the rest of it can be silk, or it can be whatever material it can be. But when it's not cotton, it's not allowing your vajayjay to breathe. It's not allowing it to feel comfortable, and most of the times it's tight. Most people sleep in underwear. I recommend not to if you don't have to. If it's not your time of the month, like, I don't see the need to actually wear underwear every single night. Let it breathe. Let it breathe. That's all I'm saying. I'm not going to assume that most people will know that they're supposed to be doing this, but I'm going to say it regardless, okay? Because a lot of people probably don't know, because I didn't know back in the days, okay? So whenever you're wiping, wipe from front to back. Front to back. Think of it this way. When you do number 2, right? Would you want to wipe from there, from the back to the front, to get all of that in your vajayjay? No. So wipe from front to back, okay? Front to back. This next tip, it can be obvious to some, but I'm still going to say it regardless. Drink water. Drink enough water. I'm not talking about only 1 glass a day. I'm talking about at least 3 of the good sized glasses, or the 8-ounce glasses, okay? It works wonders for your skin. It works wonders for down there to taste and also smell good. Trust me. Remember that the body is, I think our body, I'm not sure, I don't want to lie, I'm gonna put the right one on the screen if I am making a mistake, but our body is either 60% water or 70% water. So we do need to drink water. You have some people that actually don't like to drink water and they rather juice. I mean, it is what it is. That's what they like. I can't force them to drink water, but I'm telling you, it makes a difference as it regards down there tasting good, okay? Especially, okay? I mean, this next one, I'm a lover for it. All my friends know this. If they know me, they know 2 things Sasha will always have: her water and wet wipes. When I say wet wipes, I mean wet wipes, baby wipes. I'm gonna go for my I was gonna go for my wipes, but I'm like, you know what, nah. But I use wet wipes every time I use the washroom. Use the flushable ones, or the non-scented ones, I should say, whenever you're doing number 1. When you're doing number 2, you can use the flushable ones, preferably because you don't want to do number 2. I mean, you're gonna use tissue, but you don't want to do number 2 and then throw it in the bin, because that's gross. That is gross. So you use the wet wipes, the flushable ones, when you're doing number 2. You can use the flushable ones or the non-flushable ones when you're doing number 1, but make sure that you're wiping again from front to back, okay? Another one is to bathe with unscented soap. Guys, I understand that you want to smell sweet or you want to smell fresh, but you can't do that if you're bathing with scented soap, especially down there. I bathe with Dove personally because it has a smell, of course, because all of us, we have an odor, right? It depends on the odor. It can be good smelling or bad smelling, but the Dove has a smell, but it's not too strong, the one that I use, okay? I don't use it down there. I use it only to bathe. What I use down there, and it's only sometimes, is either after sex or after my period, but it's not consistent. I use something called Vagisil. So my Vagisil, I'm gonna see if I can find it or just insert a picture somewhere. I use it like after my period, like the 5th day, you know, you use it there to make sure that you're extra clean and fresh, but you don't use it every single time. Or after sex, of course, you use it. It can prevent your pH balance being off, but I don't recommend using it every single day. The vagina cleans itself, guys. You don't need to insert anything up in there. You don't need to insert, and you can clean outside, of course, with water, or you can use your Vagisil or any other vagina soap that works. That's non-scented, I should say. But do not, I repeat, do not insert anything inside. With that being said, this makes me come up with the next tip, is to not insert anything in your vagina that is not supposed to be in there, at least. Meaning, I know sometimes you want to be fun and you want to, you want to spice up things, but do not, I repeat, do not insert any fruits, any vegetables or whatever, anything edible. Do not insert it inside, okay? It's gonna throw off your pH balance and then you have to start all over. It's not worth it. That one-time feeling is not worth it, I promise you. Anything sweet or sugary, nothing is supposed to be inserted inside, okay? Do not insert anything inside of your vagina. You can do your smell check with your finger, of course, when you're doing a shower, but that's the most you're supposed to insert, other than you know what. Another tip is to get your regular checkups. Get your pap smear and your regular checkup, your STD and STI and HIV tests, because you never know. Life happens. it's better to know than to not to know, if you get what I mean. Because you know yourself and you can't swear for anybody else. It's better to actually make sure that you're doing your check to be safe, okay? Because that can affect your pH balance being off. That can affect how you smell. Like, make sure that you do your pap smear to make sure everything inside is okay. There's no polyps or anything unwanted in there that is not supposed to be there. And you know, your vagina is healthy. Another tip is to groom down there, okay? You see, like how you would have your regular grooming for your hair, your nails appointment, your lashes appointment. Make it priority to get down there groom. I know some of you guys might like the hair, but truth be told, the hair actually makes down there smell sometimes if you're not careful. And I also want to mention, I prefer sugaring. I used to do waxing years ago, but I prefer sugaring because it seems as healthier in the long run and less ingrown hair, etc. When I say wax or sugar down there, understand that I'm not talking about hair. I'm talking about around there too. Because as much as we don't want to admit it, the truth be told is that around there can cause a smell. Even if, imagine hair is clear and clean or trimmed down. You see, once you're in between there has hair, it's the same thing that happens. It's like when you have hair under your armpit, you're more likely to get sweaty than if you don't have any under your armpit. You get what I mean? So if it's okay with you guys and you feel comfortable one day, if you're not already doing it, make sure that whenever you're shaving, not shaving because I don't recommend shaving, but if that's the way that you want to go to remove the hair, just make sure that you're doing it properly. But if you decide to wax down there or sugar down there, make sure that you do the back too. It helps with the smell. I'm just saying. Next tip is, whenever you're wearing your cotton underwears, of course, make sure that you wear panty liners. Unscented panty liners sometimes, okay? You can wear your underwear only, but sometimes, you know, like say your period is about to finish and you have like maybe this is the last day, you know, you're gonna have just a little bit of spots, right? You don't necessarily want to wear the heavy pad, right? So you're looking for something very thin. The mistake that most women usually do, and I used to do that in the past too, is to wear the scented panty liners, thinking that, okay, because it's scented, it's going to make my thing smell good. No, that's not how it works, okay? It's gonna throw off your pH balance for sure, and you'll end up being in the doctor office asking for prescription for something, okay? So I would recommend having, if you're wearing panty liners, at least to use the unscented ones. That makes me go on to my next tip. As it regards the woman time or your sister time, you know, your time of the month, make sure that you're using unscented pads. I understand, again, that the panty liners or the pad, it being scented is going to make you think as if you're not going to smell. It makes sense to use the unscented ones, and make sure you're changing it regularly. When I'm talking about regularly, I'm talking about not every 6 hours, like every 2 hours if you can, okay? I know sometimes it's not heavy and you don't feel like you want to change it, but make sure that you change it. The maximum is like 3 hours, okay? Because at the end of the day, your vagina is suffocating. So if you are wearing sanitary napkins, make sure that you're changing it often and make sure that you're using unscented ones. This tip, first of all, it might feel good, but do not do it. Do not put your shower head in your vagina. I don't mean in your vagina. I mean like when you take the shower head and you're like spraying it close to your vagina. As much as you clean your washroom, remember there are still bacteria there left in all of that. So imagine you going like this. You're like, okay, this is the entranceway. Let me lead you to the entranceway and putting it all up in it. You're setting up yourself. Why would you do that? So please, guys, do not do that. That's going to make you, and I know it might feel good. I know it might feel good and it might be tempting, but don't do it, okay? If you can avoid doing it, or if you really want to wash it properly, just aim down and do your washing. And of course, you wash from the front to back, you know? But do not take it, as much as it's tempting, do not take the shower head, okay? Guys, this is my last tip. And I think it's very important. Keep your man in check too. He can throw off your pH balance. Whatever he eats, it's the same thing coming out, you understand? If you're going to have sex and then you realize that your man has an odor, do not just go ahead and have sex with him. I mean, if you're using protection, that's cool, but still don't have sex with him, right? If you're going raw, that's even worse. Do not have sex with him. Find out what's up. It can be that his body odor is going to throw off yours. It is what it is. It happens sometimes. Or something is off. Keep your man in check. Like, make sure that you guys do checks together and everything. So that's all. But let me just summarize everything that I just said. So all the tips that I gave you, it not only talk about how to make your vagina looks good, but also tastes good. Because the waxing or the sugaring is going to make it look spanking new and, you know, edible. And edible. But at the end of the day, it's also what you eat and consume or what you wear that can make it actually smell good too and taste good. So keep that in mind. And that's the end of my video, guys. If I helped you in any way, or if you learned something new from me, or if you have any other tips, leave them in the comment section below. It can help out another female or another person overall, okay? Once again, this is the end of my video. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new to my channel, remember to like, share, and subscribe. Turn your notification bell on so you'll be notified anytime I post a video. Until next time, God bless you guys, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.
I woke up, I thank God for all my blessings. I thank God. I woke up, I thank God for all my blessings. I'm trusting all the stressing I go through, keep me progressing. Like, baby, a bigger picture, it's all a part of the lesson, I'm guessing. You got plans to show me more, but from the city where I'm from, there ain't too many doors. From